Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. I'm your host, Colors Fade. It's episode 93. We have to deal with the Let the Cycle Be Discontinued. We need to go to Systems Speculo. So onward. Argenta got her power armor. I was wrong about what the alternate to the power armor is. I thought it was the same stats, but there was something that caused the critical hit percentage to reset. That's not the case. You can go online and look up what the other one does. And then, of course, there's the third option where Argenta basically ends up being a broken person and doesn't get power armor. But we were fortunate and didn't end up with that. Now, System Speculo. It's way down here near Foulstone and Colony Janus. There's Foulstone right there. So we have to go over here. So let's get back to here. The tech priest reported a brief malfunction in the Geller field generator that left the vessel exposed to the wharf for a brief second. According to the Enforcer report, something did manage to get into the ship and is now prowling the dark corridors of Loading Bay 5. Send patrols into the affected chamber. Oh, we get some trophies. Heretic trophies. Several armed teams left to search for the unknown creature that had invaded the vessel. All but two returned with nothing to show for it, but hair turned prematurely gray and horror stories of what happened in Loading Bay 5. One team brought back a bizarre trophy, allegedly found behind a shattered bulkhead. The last team was never seen or heard from again. Oh, how unfortunate for them. Prematurely gray hair. Reminds me of the Stephen King short story called The Jaunt. It's probably my second favorite short story he's ever written. The first one would be Word Processor of the Gods. If you've not read either one of those, go find them. They're in his short story anthologies. He has a few of them. They're so worth reading. Of course, he wrote The Raft as well. The Raft was a short story that got used in Creepshow was the name of the film that The Raft got used in. Creepshow was... It's obviously really old, but it's still really cool. It took 4 horror novellas, 4 horror short stories, and condensed them down into a film, each story getting about a half an hour. Something really cool that we used to do with films and short stories is make anthologies. You still find short story anthologies being made these days, but it seems like it's harder for them to get made. Anyway, Stephen King used to write a lot of short stories and put them into anthologies. The Raft is fun, but The Jaunt is amazing, and then Word Processor of Gods is something so cool. System Speculo. Let's go see what's going on here. Duty officer reported an incident with the shuttle repair bay. A security team was dispatched in response to a distress signal, but when they arrived, they discovered that the shuttle repair crew had doubled in number. Somehow, every crew member now had an identical twin, but each assured the enforcers that they were the real one. The enforcers immediately opened fire, killing everyone in the bay. The duty officer awarded the squad a commendation for their vigilance and efficiency. Well, that's unfortunate. Might in an autopsy I figured out. I mean, not an autopsy, but some exploratory surgery. Figured out who the real people were. Okay, so there's the Arc Mechanicus Hermetico. Wow, that thing is friggin' huge, and there's a bunch of exploratory flotillas here too, so I don't think we get into ship combat here, but it makes me want to check my post because oh look, we lost someone again. Of course we lost someone, because you know that's just what we do here. Get rid of people. Your lordship, according to the ship's registry, we're looking at the Arc Mechanicus Hermetico. We picked up the Vox signal coming from her. Permission granted. May the Messiah of Discontinuing reveal the way to a safe docking gate. The raspy voice of the person who recorded the message is vaguely familiar to you, but you cannot put your finger on it. Requesting the right to participate in the first boarding party. Evaluating shuttle docking options. Is there a safe docking spot? Not at the moment, your lordship. The damage to the hull makes observations difficult, and the surviving vacuum locks are sealed shut. I hypothesize that the proper vacuum lock may be opened using my personal access code. Justification, a message from the Arc Mechanicus. Assemble the boarding crew. It will be done, your lordship. We need not Abelard. Let's see, who do we want to take in this thing? I don't think we have to do any fighting is the thing. Let's take Argenta. She's got a brand new spiffy power armor. I might be wrong about this. There might be fighting. It's been a while since I've been this far in the game. So let's go see what we can find. Holt von Valencia.
Is there money to be made?
There better be. The cogitator screen glows faintly. You take a closer look and realize it is gutted. Its innards replaced with candles that cast glints on the black plexiglass. Well, that's interesting. Who are... Oh, there is definitely fighting here. Okay. This gets a little buggy. Yes, it does. Okay. You want to click on everything. That's rule number 1. So let's see. Yep, so click on every single one of these things. You have to. How dare they set up a camp right in the heart of the sacred machine? This is sacrilege against the blessed remains. The noble warrior's armor and augments are undamaged, and yet they are dead. What killed them? Are they dead?
I always have a backup plan.
The bay was breached from the inside. Traces of scaling suggest the use of a melted charge. Something simply ordered the spirit of this machine to die. I recognize the pattern of the chant there, imitating a reactor shutdown vigil. Imitating being the key word here. The handprints and footprints indicate that the locals have turned the sacred unguent tank into something like a ritual font. So this is one of the places in the game where it kind of feels like the interns made it, because it's real easy for this to get bugged. And so if you're playing on Ironman mode, this can screw you. The majestic metal statue is frozen in a menacing, combative pose. The ancient warrior's flesh was once enhanced with priceless augmetics, but they are dormant now. I am registering residual traces of paper combustion inside this cogitator's casing. Did they fuel this repository with knowledge from books? What kind of paranoia drove the crew to place the cannon platform here, in the very heart of the ship? The barbaric inscriptions blasphemously profane the flesh of the sacred machine, echo the words of the Requiem of Reverent Shutdown.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
And still there are more clickable things. These barbarians are pillaging the ship's supplies. I am registering a Category 9 blasphemy. I am registering evidence that a Volkite carbine was fired here. I am registering a protocol violation. Use of weapons by Adeptus Mechanicus soldiers inside one of the ship's bays. So, it's not good.
Rise to the top.
This machine, did we click on this?
Dust.
Yeah, okay. Touched all that stuff. Alright, so the next thing is speak with the chief until you get the option to desire to visit the observation tower. The lean hunchback man studies you with his piercing gaze. One of his eyes looks you up and down, the other has been replaced by a bulky augmetic, ancient and adorned with gold, but it's deactivated for the same reason. He states in a dry voice, the ghosts of nothingness have entered the deck of Akgen tribe. I greet your tribe. We come in peace. It does not matter, you are ghosts. The middle-aged man carries a potentia coil on his shoulders, after the manner of tech priests. It is held in place by straps and is not connected to anything. Its weight has given him a hunched back. One of his arms has been replaced by an exquisite tech scribe augmetic, but the quills and styli are incredibly dull, as though they have been scraped against bare rock, and the limb's servo motor is dormant. The sight of the mangled automatic elicits a pained grimace from Pascal. I am registering evidence of precious true flesh being operated in unacceptable conditions. The markings indicate that this sacred metal was fashioned many centuries ago on blessed Mars. Putting it to such crude and careless use is an insult to the Omnissiah. Who are you? The undertakers of the world that expired in the great discontinuing of the cycle. The mourners holding an eternal requiem for the universe. Fascinated by the answer, Pascal says quietly, "Let the cycle be discontinued." A wan, condescending smile graces the man's lips. "It was discontinued a long time ago." "Do you believe the world has perished?" "This statement is true. The world ceased to exist a very long time ago. It turned to nothingness, to ashes. All that's left of these ruins, the last shard of the universe, its cenotaph." "What do you think destroyed the universe?" "The unthinkable was wrought. The cycle was discontinued." This tribesman mind is full of the most unenlightened superstition. Why does this unit seemingly know less than some primitive barbarian? Is this good or bad? Neither. It just happened. But it was a grievous event, and we grieve. Is that why you call us ghosts? Yes. There is nothingness outside this ship. Sometimes it spits out ghosts, born out of the world's ashes, and they wander in. The sight of you saddens us, for we mourn you. Alas, there is nothing we can do to help you, since you do not exist. The man sighs and makes a sign with his hand that is vaguely reminiscent of the tech priest gesture to ward off evil. Pascal, what do you make of these people? Hypothesis. This primitive community is made up of descendants of low-ranking technomats who once serviced this deck. The name Akgen derives from category Akgen. Ak stood for the acolyte category, which serviced the main decks. Gen referred to the service staff, who were assigned general, as opposed to specialized maintenance duties. The man looks at you and Pascal with indifference. He does not seem to have understood a single word. How do you survive here? And what do you do? We hold a vigil for all of existence, and the spirits of the mechanisms give us water, food, and nutrient mix. We thank them for that with the rights of machine servicing and maintenance. So commands the great entity. I am registering multiple deviations from the catechism of maintenance and operation in the actions of these units. Hypothesis. The breaches of sacred instructions do not stem from a malicious lapse into heresy. They are a consequence of the right having been lost to memory. A grave heresy, but not as profane. The voice from the Vox is full of sorrow and reproach. Who or what is the great entity? The supreme deity, the spirit of wisdom and revelations. It bears the name Amarnat. The name grabs Pascal's attention. He says sternly, I am registering a meaningful linguistic pattern, requesting all available information on Marnat. Marnat is a divine being of great wisdom. It was this great wisdom that discontinued the cycle, and all who had partaken of it lapsed into nothingness. We never partook of the wisdom, which is why we exist, and I have nothing to tell you about it, ghost. You talk to us. Your kinfolk do not. Why? I am the Fabricator General. My shoulders bear the sacred burden of leadership. The man shifts his shoulders bent under the potentia coil resting upon them. The others fear you, as ghosts can carry the living away into nothingness. But I am protected by Marnat's grace. Pascal's roar is like the blaring alarm of an extractor. Fabricator General! I am registering heresy! The man listens to the tech priest's outburst without flinching. The universe must have a Fabricator General, the supreme priest of the Omnissiah. There is none other to hold that title, therefore it is mine. Have you seen anything unusual lately? The echo of an old crime was heard beneath the arching vaults of our home. The tribesman nods at you gloomily. A ghost of nothingness walked among us. of like appearance to you, but without a face. He spoke words that must not be spoken, and then penetrated the chamber of Observus. And our abode was shaken by the wrath of the gods for days, and we felt as though we were drifting through nothingness. Pascal lowers his head and says quietly, "That is him, my mentor, Amarnat." What did he look like? His brow bore the mark of sorrow and past misdeeds, and his voice was like seeping sand. Was he alone? No, other ghosts walked with him, but he alone had a mind and a will. The others did his bidding. What is the chamber of Observus? An abode of deities and mighty spirits, secluded from mortals. The man points toward the entrance to the lift shaft. Down this great tube they used to descend to the mortals. Now they have all retired to the house of Observus, calm and keen-sighted, there to remember and mourn the world that once was. The unit has given us a distorted description of the Observatorium, the bay that housed the Hermeticos Bridge. There, under a grand dome of glasscrete, the wisest hierarchs of the Adeptus Mechanicus would spend time in reflection and strive to discern the Omnissiah's guiding signs in the glitter of the stars. Pascal hesitates, then adds worriedly, "Correction. This data is a hypothesis. An archive search yielded no confirmation of this data. My possession of it is an anomalous cognitive fluctuation. I want to get in there." "Abandon this thought. Your kind can't go in there. The Great Tube was made for the travel of gods, not mortals. Only one who has the blessing of Pref, the great spirit who rules this deck, may approach the Great Tube. But even such a one will have tried in vain, for the Great Tube's spirits have sealed its gate and will only open it to those who know the divine word. And the rust wraiths ensure that humans don't steal the word. They'll make short work of any thief." I see. Who is the spirit Pref? "The master of this deck, the second most important god after Amarnat. Mortals cruelly betrayed his trust once, and he hasn't talked to them or protected them since. Pref only ever answers to the shaman's invocations, and only occasionally at that. The tribesman's profane speculations most likely describe an important machine spirit that remains awake, requesting a conversation with a unit identified as the shaman." I see. Divine word? All right. Your guesses are amazingly spot on, Pascal. The tech priest is taken aback. He pauses to think, then says with no great confidence, "This statement is false. Each of the hypotheses were logically deduced from our present situation." I see. Good. Don't seek to enter the god's abode, Ghost. It is no place for you. Farewell, Ghost. I hope nothingness summons you back into its embrace soon. So we want to go down here. Speak with the elevator servitor. Look, there he is, bobbing his head back and forth. The ancient servitor seems dead. The infrequent twitching of his head is the only glimmer of life left in him. The numerous augmetic regalia embedded in the body of the servant of the Omnissiah speak to his high standing and devoutness. Can you activate him, please, Pascal? The tech priest carefully touches the servitor's withered body with his mechadendrites. Data spikes slide out of them and sink into the servitor's augmetics. Pascal's vox sounds thoughtful and slightly puzzled. I identify this unit as Majos Logis Hectodon, the 11. The unit received 7 commendations for advances in astrography recorded in the Fleet Archive. The unit, he liked watching the stars. He called them beacons left for us by the Omnissiah. The servitor gives a jolt, raises his head, and fixes his augmented eyes on you. The large black circles of his visors are cloudy and covered in scratches. A pained moan comes from the speaker on the servant's throat. Unit status. Operational. Unit identifies itself as no data available. Error. Malfunction. The Omnissiah knows... What? Pascal sighs heavily. He is suffering. This unit has long passed its operational life expectancy, but the peculiarly ancient and sacred true flesh it was awarded for its outstanding service to the fleet is still prolonging its years. Do you know him? This statement is false. My archive has no record of any encounters with this unit or any archive requests concerning it. I just know, and I grieve. Pascal touches the servitor's pale skin covered in inky cacography. The tribespeople inscribed his body with the blessed manual of maintenance and repair. Hypothesis: ignorant as to the true purpose of this litany, they perceived it as a health-replenishing magic spell. Tech Brother Hectodon the 11. This unit identifies itself as Pascal Hanuman. Can you hear me? Do you know me? Can you tell me what happened here? A jumble of sounds comes from the servitor's speaker, as if a very old man, who has outlived his faculty of speech, is trying to utter once familiar words now strange to him. Then suddenly a spark lights up his visors, and he utters with great strain, "Executing function. All reserve capacities engaged in executing primary function. We would like to go up to the observatorium." "Request denied." The rattle in the servitor's voice could easily be mistaken for indignation. "Access to the lift system denied. Service is in obscuratoria mode." An obscuratoria is a complete ban on holy ministry within the compound. Any and all sacred maintenance procedures are deferred until after the ban is lifted. An obscuratoria is declared when the temple has been compromised by suspected corruption, before a battle, or in the event of major critical incident. This unit cannot select the appropriate countermanding order without knowing the exact reason obscuratoria was declared. Abel shows up and says, Well then, let's go talk to the shaman. The elderly tech shaman looks at you with dim eyes. He smells strongly of exhaust fumes. "Have you come to speak to the great Pref, ghosts? Pref will not speak your lesser tongue, but I can help. I can interpret." The aging barbarian skin is covered in tattoos of mechanisms, as if the ink drawings of cogs could pass for actual augmetics. Wires and scraps of flex tubing are braided into his hair, as well as shards from a broken data slate screen. Cogitator circuit boards hang on threads from his large ceremonial drum. "I am registering Category 6, 7, and 8 blasphemies in this tribesman's vestments. Only enlightened tech priests are authorized to dismantle and interact with the bodies of sacred machines, and painting the skin in crude imitation of true flesh is a profane mockery. It is how I venerate the iron spirits who have done their duty and passed into nothingness. Ghost. I do this in the hope that I might gain some of their wisdom." This statement is false. I am not registering any veneration. Who is Pref? Our deck's great patron spirit, who protects it and watches over everything that happens on it. Pref used to be a kind father to us until wicked people tricked him. That was when he disowned the mortals who lived here. He wiped the names of everyone who used to be under his patronage from his memory, and no longer recognized their faces. Since then, Pref has been a harsh and cruel-hearted master who is deaf to our prayers. Pref. Hypothesis. The barbarian is using this debased designation to refer to a prefect enumerator, an especially sacred cogitator served by all of the deck's junior machine spirits. I am registering a Category 6 blasphemy. The tribesman claims to communicate with it. Only enlightened adepts of the Omnissiah are permitted to interact directly with a prefect enumerator. Hypothesis. The part of the legend that speaks of disowning the mortals and forgetting their faces describes the removal of access rights from authorized units. For reasons unknown, the prefect enumerator was ordered to cease accepting commands from outsiders. How do you talk to Pref? The tech shaman raises the roaring mechanical sensor and inhales a lungful of aromatic exhaust fumes. The tribesman's eyes grow dim and he puts his hands on his drum. His fingers strike the taut synthetic leather with remarkable deftness and rhythm. Like this. Pascal frowns and says darkly, I am registering a catech. Blast it, layman. This blessed smoke is meant for the sacred machines, not your lungs. Then the tech priest falls silent and listens carefully before uttering in astonishment. This primitive melody is a language, our language, a variety of rhythm-based tech vernacular in which meaning is created by the links of pauses between the signals. We have come to plead for Pref's benevolence. Every word you say is accompanied by a series of quick drum taps in a complex choppy rhythm. Crackling comes in response from a vox hidden somewhere inside the wall. The tech shaman tilts his head and says, The great Pref would like to know who is speaking to him. The prefect enumerator is running an identification procedure. Given existing data on the machine spirit's refusal to follow orders within the chain of command, I predict that standard identifiers will be assigned a low priority. Tell him you are the Messiah of discontinuing. This unit is Majos Pascal Hanuman. He hesitates a little, then adds, Some identify him as the Messiah of discontinuing, although that statement is false. The tech shaman translates Pascal's words into quick taps on his drum, its dangling circuit boards jingling dramatically. He inhales the aromatic exhaust of his roaring censer, listens carefully, and says in a strained voice, Pref asks why he should treat your words with respect and not scorn them. Pascal's voice becomes dry and bristly. The machine spirit is requesting to know this unit's access privileges. It refuses to submit to a stranger's will without a compelling reason. Machine spirits can be capricious and undisciplined. After years without sanctified maintenance, this one may have forgotten all about obedience. Normally, in cases like these, a tech priest would bring the wayward spirit to its senses with a shock from an electric prod or a blow from a wrench, accompanied by the litany of uninterruptible obedience. I think a show of force is in order to show this machine its place. This statement is true. Pascal extends a hand toward the machine, which is enveloped in showers of sparks. The crack in the tech priest's armored respirator shines a bright light green. There is steel in his voice. My power is my authorization. Acknowledge it or you will regret it, wayward spirit. The tech shaman shouts out of fear and shakes his drum frantically. Pref acknowledges your power, Ghost. He does. He asks why you seek his friendship. A pained rattle comes from Pascal's vox as he touches the crack in his armor, which is no longer glowing. He looks as though he has had a sudden toothache, then says with effort, Hypothesis. The prefect enumerator's request is to be interpreted as, What is the purpose of your visit? You know the answer yourself, Pascal. I have come to discontinue this cycle. The tech shaman listens to the crackling that comes in response and opens his mouth to say something, only for Pascal to interrupt him in a tone of authority. The prefect enumerator has stated that he knows my name and is familiar with my power. He respects my mission and grants me a place within the crew's chain of command. Your work here is done, binaric interpreter. Pascal looks at you and adds with slight surprise, I remember this language now. Or more precisely, this unit used to know it, and now it remembers having known it. The tech priest turns toward the wall, with the sacred mechanisms concealed inside it, and says doubtfully, I am registering an anomaly. The data exchange deviant from the standard registration procedure. The prefect enumerator was commanded to limit the number of people who have clearance to issue orders, including even high-ranking tech priests from other ships. It was tasked with defending the observatorium as if it were under siege. Our mutual introduction rather resembled an exchange of secret passwords. Okay. Now we go over here. A spasm in the servitor's neck makes the chin twitch. So by clicking on this one guy over here that apparently we didn't click on, or it didn't have an icon before, now we get notifications up here and it says now everything is clear. A battle was fought here. Even to follow servants of the Omnissiah, the Exploradors, it was an internal conflict, and he expected his erstwhile tech comrades to become his enemies. This is why you have to click on everything, but I thought we did. And that's why I was wondering why wasn't the quest update coming. Now, maybe we can go over here. Click on this damn thing. This is, again, just another one of those areas that feel like it was made by interns. Pascal, unblock the lift. Hypothesis. As soon as the lift going up to the observatorium is operational, we will be attacked. The deck guard will activate and attack us, requesting confirmation of readiness for combat. Do it. Pascal enunciates solemnly, accompanying each word with binary commands. As its first pronouncement, this unit declares that no security threat to the High Observatorium is present. As its second pronouncement, this unit orders the operation of the lift system to be restored. As its third pronouncement, this unit confirms its authorization to issue that order. An intricate, monumental, and piercing binary aria pours from Pascal's vox. Encoded in its signals is Hanuman's authority to give orders on this ship. The servitor stares at Pascal with visored eyes and bows his head awkwardly. Regalia identified. I greet the venerable Magos and will execute the order presently. Lift system activated. The servitor's last words are drowned out by a harrowing screech that rolls across the deck of several shrill voices wail, "Security perimeter breach for the Omnissiah." So there is combat.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
So let's get you up here. Let's try to get everybody else. Okay, wow. You can't go very far. Idira. Can you kind of get up here? Well, let's keep you at bay and protected. Same thing with Jai. You might be better off there. Well, we'll put you there. Pascal. Alright, let's start the battle. First of all, we're going to have to get everybody kind of... all you goons up here.
Through chaos, I stride.
Let's try to grab this person over here.
One step closer.
That's what we want to do, is get him away from that wall. Get a bunch of people over. I'd like to pull them over in this direction. Okay. Let's see if we can disable some folks.
I need no guidance. I will triumph.
And we'll just put down this here.
Ruin beckons.
We have Killzone Stratagem.
I will triumph.
And we'll slap this. You don't want to slap this down? There we go. What else do we have? Waking Nightmare, Willpower, Toughness. You guys can take a hit. I don't know that I can actually lay this on anybody. I can't, so let's just not worry about it.
Pathetic.
Oh, that's no good. Okay. The next guy is going to be stunned. So Argenta. Who's going to shoot? The next two guys are stunned right there and right there. And then who's this guy right there? Can we get you lined up? It'd be cool if we could. What would be the easiest way to do this? Let's move you up here.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Okay, if you shoot someone, can you shoot them? What's shooting them look like? This person. Okay. Now let's run and
Doubt is for the
gun.
weak.
Right
Guided
here.
by faith.
Let's kick this person.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
There we go. We got enough to pull off confident approach. Wildfire.
I'll do
Concentrated fire. Rapid
As the Emperor
fire.
commands, I act.
Devastating attack can cause people to be knocked prone, so I kind of like that on this attempt here. What do we want to do? Who can we shoot at? We could shoot at you guys. We could shoot at you guys. Wow. Only 60% to hit people here? Okay.
Doubt is for the weak.
It's a lot of hitting people and not a lot happening there. I'm 47% to hit them. 47. 0 and 3% is all. I can kill this guy. Oh, no, I can't. Wow. Okay, 95% to kill that guy.
The Emperor's judgment.
All right. Let's grenade somebody. Oh, I can't get both of you guys. I can get you though.
I'll do it. Eradicated.
Bye-bye. Revel and slaughter. Okay. I can move a little bit.
The enemies of the Emperor
I
will
just want
be
to be
undone.
on this. Yeah, let's move right here in case they want to push us a little bit. Let's go. Holt von Valencius. Oh, you're here. Well, who's next? Immortal Skitari over there. Okay.
Who if not me?
Doink.
Another enemy down.
That's nice. Torch this guy. Oh, you can't? Really? Really? Okay, who can you torch? You can get that guy on fire.
I'll see to it personally.
We're gonna try to
On it.
set a bunch of people on fire here. I can't get anybody else. Okay. May choose an ally and they can do their heroic act.
I'll
Argenta,
make it happen.
you're gonna get your
I
heroic
am
act.
his will made manifest.
I want you to shoot some people.
Faith without deeds is why I was
Because you get
chosen.
like 9 shots, so
Doubt is for the weak.
kill some
As the
people.
Emperor commands, is why I was chosen. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, this is why I was chosen. I'll do it.
That's nice.
As the Emperor commands, strike is a prayer.
How many more does she get? Oh, you can't see? Okay, but you can move.
I refuse.
You still no line of sight to the target? You're joking. Really? Okay.
Rejoice in battle.
Still got some.
I'll do it. Faith without deeds can escape the Emperor.
That's it. Alright. That
your
was
wits about you.
everybody. Oh my goodness. Pick up the lootage here, guys. That was a new plasma weapon. And there's some more, but I don't think those are any great shakes. Let's check though. And make sure they're not anything fantastic for Pascal. Oh yeah, those are cheap. Add to cargo. Not significant. Let's go.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Pangos has got a temporary wound here, but that's okay. There we go. This is what I've been waiting for. The face of the tech priest standing opposite is hidden behind a brass mask. Rather than being one piece, it is assembled from fragments of many augmetics. You have met this man before. He's called Brass Whisper. a member of Lord Inquisitor Calcazar's retinue. There you are, Tech Brother. Brass Whisper's voice is raspy and punctuated. His gaze is turned towards Pascal. This salutary procedure will be performed, and the identification codes verified after the priority request has been executed. Tell me where the blessed Amarnat is. Pascal's vox clangs like steel. A cracked chuckle comes from behind the mask. You still don't understand. You are from Calcazar's retinue. Does he have anything to do with this? Marginally. He used to play a major part in this story. Not anymore. This meeting is held upon my initiative. Brass Whisper surveys the Inquisition soldiers and warriors of the Omnissiah standing motionless. That said, I am still under the protection of the Lord Inquisitor and the Cognizance Fleet. Keep that in mind. Locals spoke of ghosts without a face. Did they mean you? Response, affirmative. In order to move the Hermetico out of the procession of the damned, we had to disturb the pitiful locals. What's going on here? We intend to discontinue the cycle. Is that not obvious? There's a note of sarcasm in Brass Whisper's croaking voice. Speak, or I will rip your memories out along with the Ferrum Sanctum implanted in your brain. Pascal enunciates each word as he activates his drilling mechadendrite. What do you know of Amarnat? The hollow, pained laughter from behind the brass mask is amplified by its echo. I know everything. We are looking for Archmagos Amarnat, and we want answers. Looking? How absurd. You lack the very concept of what you are looking for, layman. You expect to find a man, and Amarnat never was one. He was never one person. The Amarnat Collective was created by a group of tech priests who renounced individuality and merged into a hive mind, a mind that reasoned algorithmically, but was guided by the principles and convictions of righteous spirit, a superego that brought them one step closer to the Omnissiah. You are looking for Archmagos Amarnat, you say? Something clicks inside Brass Whisper's mask, and his voice becomes louder and harsher, as if coated in liquid metal. He has been by your side all this time. This statement is false. The hypothesis is without merit. Brass Whisper interrupts him with a forceful shout. As the cycle coils in multitudinous loops, it intersects with itself and locks us in a cage of data vows. Pascal shudders as if struck by the motive force itself. Mechadendrites rise like steel wings behind his shoulders. The voice from his vox speaker takes on an otherworldly profundity and power, and therefore the cycle must be discontinued. Are you saying Pascal is part of that hive mind? He was its original creator. The Amarnat Collective was designed to be a philosopher and a researcher. The concepts he produced were so powerful that they almost destroyed the Cognizance Fleet. But then he faced an unsolvable dilemma, and that was when Amarnat came apart. The 7 constituent servants of the Omnissiah hid their own memories from themselves behind false personas and were sent off to various parts of the Coronis expanse. They went into hiding. Each had to live in solitude for many decades, accumulating observations and eventually bringing that experience to a reunited Amarnat who would tackle the dilemma once more. That would be the restoration. Sorrow echoes in Pascal's inhuman voice. 211 Terran years. It was such a long time ago. Your companion looks overwhelmed and pensive. So the tech priests of the name Hanuman are all parts of Amarnat? Yes. 6 mental keynotes. Demence was paranoia. After the separation, he sensed that his memory was a web of lies, and that feeling drove him to the depths of madness. Tarsus was faith, fiery and unyielding. Axiomantha was logic, unclouded by emotion or value judgments. Abel was her good twin, imagination. He did not know his past just like the others, but he felt more than they did. He was always different. That was why he was the first to get close to the restoration. One of the first. Pascal was judgment, the moderator of the cognitive process, the one who makes the decision. Pascal's voice rises to the vault of the observatorium and rumbles beneath it like thunder. And Nihil. The brass mass starts to unlock with a hissing sound. The augmentics bend back, revealing a face disfigured by burns. A woman's face with a pair of darkly radiant, vibrant eyes. Skepticism, the one who doubts. Did Amarnat believe he could form again? The plan sounds risky. The restoration was statistically calculated on a level beyond your comprehension, layman. Billions of variables were taken into account. Countless scenarios went into the development of optimal strategies. 2 Amarnat units meeting each other was an inevitable certainty. The matching identifiers were to be a spark that would start a chain reaction. And that was precisely what happened. A ringing brittleness enters Pascal's voice. We were motivated by the perfect stimuli, curiosity, anxiety, shame. Each part of us was hostage to the legend of a betrayal it had committed, for suffering drove us to search and strive. What was the dilemma Amarnat faced? Its name was Eschatos, the secret to the right of putting a machine spirit to death, a technology embodying the discontinuing of the cycle. Was it meant to exist? Or was it the acme of profanity against the Omnissiah and his creation? Pascal continues brass whisper speech in a lofty tone. Eschatos was the perfect weapon against creations of the Omnissiah that had been corrupted by enemies, but also against his faithful servants. Its spread could bring victory to the Imperium, or it could destroy it. Eschatos could spell the end of Adeptus Mechanicus, for it was the perfect answer to the power wielded by the cult of the machine god. Was it a blessing or a curse? There was no answer. Protraction was unacceptable, and so a way was found to shelve the issue. Brass whisper gives a raspy sigh. And I found the answer. Eschatos should not exist. We will correct our mistake. What is Eschatos? The power of machine negation, a noospheric signal that interrupts any and all life created by the Omnissiah. A green flash runs along the crack in Pascal's respirator. The power that I use to tap into unconsciously. Shared knowledge lay dormant inside the mind of every Amarnat unit. You tried to decrypt the other Hanuman's neurocogitators, did you not? But to no avail. It was you who created the cipher that locked Amarnat's memory. You are the maimed hunter. You tried to kill the other Hanumans. This statement is true. I was admitted into the Lord Inquisitor's retinue and authorized to study a dangerous artifact taken from Amarnat. It tried to exert some kind of influence on me, but my data vows protected me. Nihil Hanuman touches her scarred face. A short circuit awakened some of my memories. I conducted an analysis, solved the Eschatos dilemma, and began to act. My agents all but terminated Tarsus, but he hid under an armor of martyrdom and insanity. An attempt to intercept Pascal at Altar Templum Calixtus X-17 failed because Abel had summoned him. The assassins caught up to him at the Reich Adminor's starport, but he was able to escape again. Another group went after Abel, only to perish at an Electro Priest monastery. You dispatched Dements, who had lapsed into heresy. Axiomantha simply disappeared, until she suddenly turned up dead on Euphrates II. I have no idea how she managed to hide from me. Idiot. Calcazar was harboring Axiomantha the whole time. She was working for him. I am registering a lie. The Lord Inquisitor shared my conviction that Amarnat's legacy had to be destroyed. He was summoned to the Coronis Expanse by loyal members of the Cognizance Fleet in order to depose Amarnat. It was his troops that attacked the Hermetico in an attempt to obliterate our schismatic creation. So that is how you got on board the ship and into the observatorium, Nihel. Our traitorous tech comrades gave Calcazar the access codes to the bridge, and he gave them to you. Acute conviction vibrates in Pascal's voice as he makes these quiet statements of fact. He is not asking questions, he is passing judgment. You were deceived, sister. Calcazar appropriated our work. He continued our research, no longer bound by the Omnissiah's canon, and you enabled him by destroying those who could return and reclaim his bloodied prize. Lies! Something you have not heard before creeps into Nihel's voice, a note of fear. You betrayed your brothers and sisters. Such an act is unforgivable. With a mixture of pain and pride, Brass Whisper replies, We all chose the path of martyrdom. I merely helped them reach the supreme goal at the end of that path. Nihel's voice is imperiously metallic. Tech brother, I offer you the chance to yield peacefully to a fate that will please the Omnissiah. Do not resist your termination, and you will pass into oblivion as my friend and fellow believer. Pascal's reply sweeps Nihel's words away like a gust of wind. His optical visor turns a blinding blue. No, tech sister. Refraining from resistance was never our way. I am an explorator, a reconnoiter of knowledge. I have brought fire to 100 worlds. I have gleaned 1,000 secrets in the darkness. I am an agent of unbridled will. I will not yield to oblivion, for oblivion itself fears me. This is my companion, Pascal Hanuman, and you made a mistake meddling with him. You wanted me to awaken, tech sister. Here I am, holding you to account. Nihel's disfigured lips twist, and seeds of dismay sprout in her voice. I lured you here for a reason, Pascal. I wanted you to see what our followers had become. This is what deviation from dogma ends in. Breach of canon begets ignorance. Ignorance begets blasphemy. All we did was breed corruption, schism. Remember when they came to depose us? We resisted them and destroyed the ship, a sacred relic, an arch mechanicus older than our priesthood itself. Here, in this hall, we released Eschatos and allowed an unconscionable heresy to happen. Do you remember? Do you remember how you got your cleft jaw? Pascal looks thoughtful as he touches the crack running across his armored respirator. A green spark runs through the deep gash left by an enemy's weapon in the metal. And it is sufficient for you to merely show up in the expanse again for the schism to rear its head once more. The Cognizance fleet is already being torn apart by a fratricidal war. Is this what we wanted? Let us finish this. Let us discontinue this cycle. Now the words of the one who once called herself Brass Whisper sound more like a plea. The voice that answers her is no human voice. It could belong to a giant void ship or forge world if they could speak. You violated procedure, skepticism. You usurp the function of another. You challenge only. You do not make decisions. I do. You are right, Pascal. You are the decision maker. Pascal extends a mechadendrite toward Nihel and pronounces, Tech sister, my judgment of you and your actions is one of condemnation. Tampering with procedure is unacceptable. Sabotaging the experiment is apostasy. For your betrayal, your vital functions will be terminated in the name of the Messiah of discontinuing. A greenish pulse of energy is born inside Pascal's augmentics and darts towards Nihel like a furious lightning bolt. The green energy entangles Nihel like a net, burning her true flesh, draining the life force from her augmentics and mechanical components. But she focuses her will and strikes back at Pascal with a pulse of her own. The rattling voice, no longer human, rages and roars like a forest fire. I refuse to recognize you as the Messiah. I do not believe in you. That is your problem. You have always been too skeptical.
You will beg for mercy, but I will grant none.
And now it's time to fight a bunch of machines. And these guys are kind of fat. Sharpshooters, Brass Whisperer's Disciple, Brass Whisperer themselves, Nihil, 11,000. Wow, okay. That's chunky. Well then. That's chunky soup. Where can I put you to keep you out of trouble? I can't, but I can put you down here on the downslope, so that's what we're gonna do. You and Adira on the downslope. Okay. Argenta, where can you go? Can you get up here? Not quite. Alright, go over there. Pascal. You can't get behind that cover, so I'm gonna put you behind this cover. The rest of us are gonna start here. Let's roll. Pagos. Pagos. We're gonna see how many people we can grab here. We want to get some. How many? There's 2 of these guys over here, so we're gonna kind of pull them. So to do that, we're gonna need to be right there.
I will.
This is gonna give us what? Targeted error bonuses are doubled.
Ruin bad.
Okay, that works. Let's give you all a little penalty to willpower and toughness.
I need no guidance.
Let's do a zap.
One step.
Now, what does this cost me? 2 Warp Curse Unleash. So, Nihil, take that. And then we'll zap again. Let's see. Like this? Yes. How close can I get, though? I can't move anymore. Let's do... I want to hit everybody because I want to try to stun as many people as possible. Okay, good job. Now it's me. Let's see where I want to be. Let's go right here.
Guard down.
Let's go on fire.
I'll see to it personally.
And I'll be on fire.
Who, if not me?
And don't stop me. Don't stop believing.
I'll see to it personally. I'll make it happen.
Can you get everybody else on fire over here? That'd be great.
Who, if not me? Well executed.
Okay, now what do you want to do? Do you want to go kill some more people here? He's on fire. Let's do this. We're going to use this maneuver to get up here. We're going to catch this person on fire. We're going to bomb everybody here. All damage dealt to enemies by damage over time effects is increased, or we can just go with our standard daring breach and try to kill everybody in one turn.
Perfect moment.
Let's do that, because I think
On it. Another enemy down. I'll make it happen.
this is
I'm
gonna work
ready for
this way.
whatever comes.
How many people can we kill here?
I'll see to it. You never stood a chance.
No, you didn't.
Who, if not me? Let's make some opportunities.
He's just mayhem.
It's as good as another enemy down.
Let's go get this person. Oh, we still got people over here. Oh, I didn't
I don't
realize.
need luck. I have strategy.
Okay, well, let's get rid of all of them then. Amarnat, you got you got a little bit there. Yeah, we're gonna
I'll
do
see
where it
to
hurts,
personally.
and I'll tell you where it's gonna hurt right here. Oh, that hurt a lot. And you can have a little weakness
I'll
here.
see to it personally.
Do try and run, but you're stunned, so it doesn't really matter.
I know
get up
what
here.
I'm doing, usually.
You're giving me a free turn is what you're doing. But let's
You've
stack.
got a problem, I've got a price.
Let's stack.
Am I getting paid for this?
She's got 69. She's got 69 tactical advantage. Let's give him the big
I
bonus.
can do that, with the right incentive.
Let's just give him the free turn.
They'll write legends about me.
You're gonna write legends about me.
Who, if not me, he never stood a chance.
That was awesome. Stop! Thou shalt not create a schism. Thou shalt not suffer a heretic. Like the hand of a deity, the mechadendrite extends over Nihel, lying convulsing on the deck. I did not want this, Tech Sister, but the procedure must be completed. Farewell. His claw carefully removes a mangled, soot-covered neural cogitator from Brass Whisperer's head. The tech priest shudders, and peace descends over her disfigured face. A ghost-like figure in red approaches you cautiously. Enormous, sad eyes look at you from his ascetic face. The doubt has been shunned. The dominant of prejudice has ended. Abel's voice resonates with the same otherworldly profundity that has filled Pascal's vox. This statement is true. Only imagination and judgment are left. Our directive is to conceptualize the future we desire and bring it into being. The tech priest looks the same as before, yet different. His morbid aura of martyrdom is given way to a calm and powerful halo of purposefulness. His mechadendrites move with the grace of an inscrutable dance. The scars left by loss and doubt have turned into dark threads on a radiant body confident in its next step. And his voice, a voice born in the nuclear font of a star and hardened in the cold of the interplanetary void. Pascal remains motionless. Only a short binaric aria comes from his vox. You feel oddly confident that your gesture of respect has been appreciated and received favorably. The voice from the vox is like the tolling of bells summoning a host of angels. I declare the period of ignorance over, and we will resume execution of the general algorithm. Integrity has been rehabilitated to a satisfactory degree. Memory access has been restored. I remember everything. Pascal turns to you and gives you a long look brimming with quiet elation. May the shattered mirror reassembled reflected light wholly new. So, what are you, or what were you? A higher form of intelligence, a collective of computational tools freed from the limitations of individualism and the aberrations that stem from having a distinct personality, and at the same time a collective bound by a single set of principles that are of equal importance to all, being pure of faith in the Omnissiah and acting for the benefit of humanity. We were different. Each one of us considered the prospects of such an experiment, but I was the first to gain the resolve to attempt it. Nihel joined the project to effect control over it. She regarded the experiment as dangerously close to a blasphemous act of creation. The Conclave had ordered her to end my research, but she became convinced of the possibility of its success. Nihel reinforced our union with the prudence of Demence, a meticulous and reserved auditor, a danger seeker. I strengthened our genius with the fiery faith of the warrior Tarsus, in order to banish the shadows of false ideas. Axiomantha, who teetered on the brink of becoming a Malatech, was chosen by us for her loyalty to ruthless logic and her cold scrutiny, or indeed dissection, of our theories. Abel? Pascal turns his gaze towards his last surviving tech comrade. Our quiet genius, the caged genius of imagination, the abstract artist of code. His talent completed the collective and made it whole. What's next? What is the general algorithm? A judgment must be passed. Should the secret of Eschatos exist or be shunned as a false path? And should I exist, that is we, Amarnat. A soft, binaric melody full of sadness and solemn resolve pours from Abel's vox. You have not heard it before. You would never have thought the binaric language could be so comprehensible to one who does not bear the mark of the Omnissiah's blessing. What will the destruction of Eschatos mean for you? A shower of sparks burst from the power unit on Pascal's shoulders, burning holes in his scarlet hood. An act of self-sacrifice. I will destroy the data concerning the technology and the methods of reproducing it. I will burn it out of my neural circuits, along with everything that led to its creation. Amarnat will be no more. Only a damaged and incomplete shard of him will remain. Pascal Hanuman. What judgment are you leaning toward? Pascal casts a sorrowful gaze at Nihel's body. His voice is full of wisdom and weariness. We have seen many things over the decades. We have seen true corruption, the distortion of the Omnissiah's design, Kiava Gamma, Euphrates II, the planets of Xenos passed into oblivion, our own crimes. The darkness grows. There must be a fire to burn it away. The graceful dance of the mechadendrites take on a more energetic, wilder pattern. I am leaning toward the idea that Eschatos is necessary, that Amarnat is necessary, that the cycle must be discontinued. What are your thoughts on this dilemma, Abel? We have made great sacrifices. This statement is enigmatic. I request an expanded interpretation. I think Abel means that your experiment has caused too much destruction and bloodshed. Abel gives you a sideways glance and says ruefully, so much loss. Pascal nods with an air of authority and says, I thank you both. The information has been noted and submitted for analysis. Well, Pascal, only you can make this decision. After all, that's your job. Pascal throws back his head, and the power brimming in his voice rushes forth like a flood. The tech priest's booming voice is heard throughout the ship, echoed by every Vox speaker on the deck. I peered into the vortex of time and saw dark omens. Pascal throws back his head, and the power brimming in his voice rushes forth like a flood. The tech priest's booming voice is heard throughout the ship, echoed by every Vox speaker on every deck. I peered into the vortex of time and saw dark omens. I saw that my tech comrades and I were trapped in the cycle, spiraling toward nothingness. I saw inevitable doom at the end of that trajectory, and rebelled against it. In accordance with the machine god's commandment, I have crafted a tool with which to implement my design. In accordance with his commandment, I have developed a plan and analyzed it. Now I will act. By my power as an archmagos, I hereby effect a restoration and revive the Amarnat collective. The servants of the Omnissiah need a messiah who will discontinue their cycle, and I will be that messiah. I am him. The Akgen tribesfolk, the ignorant fosterlings of the Omnissiah, slip into the observatorium hall like silent shadows. Led by an intuitive grasp of the significance of the moment, they automatically gather in a circle, heeding Pascal's summons, or perhaps at this point, someone else's. You hear echoes of other voices in Pascal's, a touch of Demence's anxiety, of Taurus's zeal, of Axiomantha's pensiveness. They all fuse into a new voice, full of wisdom and confidence in his prerogative to lead, the voice of Archmagos Amarnat. And this voice takes hold of the lips of your companions, new brothers and sisters. The ancient tech priest turns his gaze toward you and says with gravitas, Let this cycle be discontinued. And just like that, there's Pagos. So Pascal gets a, oh, what do we have here? The Voltgeist field emitter. The wearer suffers minus 20 less impact and energy damage. When the wearer suffers impact or energy damage, the attacking enemy suffers 10 power damage. Whenever the wearer uses overcharge on a plasma weapon, that attack ignores enemy's deflection and deals 24% more damage. I think Pascal's current weapon is always overcharged. Soul Powder Plasma Pistol. And then there's this. The Vid Capture Relay. Whenever the wearer ally under the effect of Joint and Nallus ability hits a target with an exploit, the wearer gains 5 perception. That all looks interesting. Let's gather up the rest of this. So Pascal.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Was Amarnat all along? Was Agatha all along? One-seventh of him, anyways.
The machine god grants me insight.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Eschatos.
I always keep my options open.
Yeah, so what that means for us, I'm not entirely sure. Pascal, are you going to acquire this weapon and do something with it? Discontinue the cycle? Whose cycle are we discontinuing anyways? So that part's done. And onward we go. Yeah, that completes his companion quest. So back to the bridge. We'll grab a little bit of what's left of the loot here and take off. A ship has shown up. It's identified as the Von Valencius Dynasty vessel. You're being hailed by a representative of the Explorer Cognizance Fleet. Query: is the statement that the Messiah considered fallen has come back true? Is the statement that the cycle will be discontinued true? They wish to know if their fratricidal battle should continue. What do you think I should answer, Holt? Tell them the statement is true. Amarnat has returned to reign and unite his flock. We are picking up an active Vox exchange on encrypted frequencies between the Explorer ships. Incoming message. The Cognizance Fleet praises the new Messiah. The mistakes will be corrected. The unbelief will be replaced with faith. Let the cycle be discontinued. So there we go. It's just that easy. Alright, there's a lot left to do. But we're getting down to the end of Chapter 4. There's not much here. We need to do Shards of the Tempest. I'm not exactly sure if that's something we have to wait until... Well, it says Chapter 4. Demand answers from Calcazar. I'm going to look this up, Shards of the Tempest, and see what we have to do about this. And also the 3 Sorrowful Phalanges. I can't remember if this ends up resolving in Chapter 5. So I'm going to do a little bit of research, but you can see we don't have a lot left to do. Chapter 4 is just about over. We're about to go headlong into Chapter 5. There's some fun fights in Chapter 5. And then we'll conclude the game. We'll see if we can get it done before episode 100. That's kind of the coin flip area here. I'm like, are we going to be episode 99, episode 101? I don't know. I always get curious about that when we get close to the end. Anyway, that's me. I'll see y'all next time. You know the drill. Leave questions, comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, happy gaming, everyone.